Hey everybody, Dan here for Argo Comics, where we do not just publish independent comics, we support independent comics. I have a stack of independent comics to go over right now. I'm going to ask that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications, and also leave a comment about whatever indie comics that you are reading. So all this will help get us in the algorithm as far as more visibility for all these great indie comics. I'll start off by saying that I do have a pre-launch page up for a collection of Sorority of Power. Okay, here's issue 1. I'll be collecting issues 1 through 5 and the short that appeared in the Argo Comics anthology, uh, which was their first appearance. So I'll put that all together in a trade paperback, and we will have Sorority Power number 16 exclusively on Kickstarter as well. Um, Basically, Sorority of Power is a Argo University sorority where they are training to be superheroes. So these are the pledges, the 3 pledges: Leopard Lass, Cybersuit, and Mushka. And these 3 are already sorority sisters: Lady Blackstar, Crush, and Ms. Molecule. So basically, it is adventures where these 3 are trying to prove themselves and get into the sorority. Uh, this is the cover, issue 1 by Bill Mouse, who does about every other issue so that we can stay on schedule. We have other artists in between just so we can see different takes on the characters, as we do in the pinups in the back, like this. I just happen to have it open. Kevin Taylor, well known for The Girl and other books. I think London Night might have been one of the earlier publishers for him. And we have a pinup of Ms. Molecule as well. So there are pinups. Actually, in the Kickstarter version, we have a Terry Dodson pinup, which was really a great get for me, having loved his work for so long. But Bill Mouse, again, does the interiors about every other issue, and we have covers from him. Just looking for a non-spoilery. There's going to be preview pages up on the Kickstarter right now. Again, the link is below for the pre-launch page. That was some groups that are in the Argo University, Intergalactic Intramural Football, Mystic Arts and Witchcraft. At different clubs. It's called like a rush week, if anyone's gone to a college or university, where they try to get you to join up for different activities. So issue 1 starts with that. And again, the pre-launch page is up, so you can just click the link below and click on notify me on that page, and then you'll be able to stay informed of when we go live with that one. Talking of Kickstarter, this was a book that was on Kickstarter, The Eternal. Okay, this is issue 1. I think the last Indie Monster Haul we had an ash can for this. So this is the actual full book. Say Immortal Comics. Okay. And it is written and edited by Brian L. Fraze, and penciled ink lettered, co-scripted by Vince White, and cover art by Vince as well. So it's a black and white book. Vince does a great job with all facets of this, art and lettering. You can see it's a bit more of a cosmic beginning. But we get into this, and we find that the Eternal, and I believe they were talking about this on the Kickstarter because I don't usually like spoiling or anything. His roots go back to actually being the Frankenstein monster. So he gets part of his powers from electricity, and that helped heal him to a more human form and become a superhero. So, that was a different and unique take on things, and it was well done. And he's also, beyond being a superhero, a businessman as well, leading the Prometheus Foundation. So, yeah, it's a fresh take on a classic story, uh, and I thought it was very good. And we were introduced to another character called Puma. Okay, so we have a feral, feline type character within the book. You can see her meeting up with her own Thunder Zone's Nightclaw, much in that vein. Let's see. And there was a deluxe edition, a regular edition. This being the deluxe edition gives you some insights as to the earlier designs of the Eternal and of Puma, and kind of like the thumbnails that were used in creating the story. So, yeah, like I said, the story moved along well, and gave you a good premise, put a lot of meat on the bone for them to build on, and yeah, overall, if there's a regular release, I would definitely check it out. But Immortal Comics, if you look for them or Brian on social media, then I'm sure you'll be kept abreast as to when the book will develop any further. And you got your little tchotchkes that came with the book. Kickstarter also had Geek Girl. I got volume 1 and 2 already. So this is volume 3. And let me see if we got writer Sam Johnson, artist C. Granda, who I actually got a recent cover from. Really love his work. Colorist Chunlin Zhao, letterer Paul McLaren. Okay, so again, the amount I like Granda's work is evident by the fact that I went ahead and got a cover for a future book. Again, I'm on volume 3, so having picked up a lot of this in issue form and trades tells you that I'm a big fan of this, and definitely worth looking up. Let me see. Okay, Markosia. Camera's not going to pick that up. Pick it up here. Publisher. So definitely worth looking up. Geek Girl. Very recommended. We move on. More Kickstarter with G-Man Comics. Is highlight number 4 by Gilbert Monsanto. He does the art, colors. Let's see. Yeah, story and art, cover art. Story assistant letters, Eric and Bennett. Script editor, Chris Squires. Associate editors, Ben Herman, Bradley DeFate, Martin Baruto. Editor-in-chief, Rick Offenberger. So, highlight, and actually, Argo Comics fans might want to try to hunt this one down, because we have Night Ranger from Impact International showing up here. These are all various independent superhero detectives. Okay, so highlight the main character here. He's recruited the detectives of various indie publishers to go ahead and help with this particular mission. He has a great 2-page spread, and again, Night Ranger is included in that. So Gilbert's work is just fantastic, and the whole book is well done with a really great story. That's kind of a, again, another cosmic universe crossing type of book, but with really well executed. And in these Kickstarters with G-Man, you get to pick your cover, and that is Gilbert's cover. Let me see. We got G-Man United, and yeah, I mean, this is a anthology, so we have different creative teams on each story. There's the credits for the first story, and I'll look at that art, which is really well done. Really like that. Whoops. Books were sliding on me there. Okay, and that is the Atomic Bombshell. She's on the cover as well. Atomic Bombshell. Kid Terror Kid Terror and Agent Squire. So Kid Terror is like take on the Black Terror. And again, let's just pop the credits here. You can always freeze frame these and get all the credits, because otherwise we would be here a bit too long. More of a cartoony style. Very well done. Dean Juliet did this art, which I really like, for True Blue and Richard the True Knight. Okay, and there are the full credits on that. Dean Juliet, a really detailed art style. Fantastic stuff. I think we have one more story. Okay, links. Oops, let me not cover the credits here. Credits are there. Links is a male and female duo with claws. Up, and there is another story. G-Men in Hot Seat. Okay, and whoops. This is also a pretty cool style. Okay, so it looks like more like sidekicks on this one. So we have that one. We had G-Man Comics Endless Summer Special, which was more like a pinup book. Marvel used to do this. Some indie, I think Wildstorm probably did this as well, where it's just here's links actually in a pinup version. There's copy to it as well, and a lot of artists. So I'll just say it's nicely done. Gives you pinups with a summer theme. All the heroes in a summer theme. Invictus Outrage number 4. Okay, that's a Gilbert Monsanto cover that he chose on this one, and he's doing the interior story as well. Okay, so, and I think G-Man Comics is doing a good job as far as bringing in different characters from the other books. Not so much in this one, but a lot of the, books have some crossover and gives it a cohesiveness. Links number 5. Credits here. Okay. Alan Faria doing the art. He had done a couple issues of Argo 5. I really like his work. So it's good to see him continuing here. But with Tio Pinheiro doing the colors. Let's see. This is written by Rick Offenberger. Yeah, so overall, very well done. As obviously, I like Tio's colors as I have him coloring Argo 5. Sergeant Flag number 4. Okay, Gilbert Monsanto did this one, as far as the art is concerned. Rick writing as well. Here's one of those cool action scenes with the phantom images of where the character was, kind of showing you the course of action. It's always a cool scene to depict in comics, as well as a nice, meaty, head-to-toe sidebar type illustration. Always like those. I think Image kind of popularized that, and you don't always see it, but when I do, really like it. Let's see, and we have Simon and Kirby Agent, number 9. Credits. So it's Rick and Gilbert again with Eric lettering. So this is like the core creative team there, with a whole bunch of indie guest stars shown up here. I think I've seen section 12 in a few books now. because I have some of those books. But again, just exceptional work. And then we round it off with the G-Man Universe handbook, the official handbook of G-Man Universe, number 10. So, and there's actually section 12. Our character gets a handbook page. Fighting Yank, which is a public domain character. Okay, so we have various artists doing this. And I expressed to Rick how admirable it is that they've been able to do this type of handbook with all these characters. As you can see, all that text is a lot of work. So we move in to another. Well, this is actually Kickstarter, but I got it on Indiegogo. Heroic Tales number 1. Pretty sure I got it on Indiegogo. Oh no, Fund My Comic. I got confused because it did run on each of those with different covers. Actually, the cover I got was exclusive to to Fund My Comics, rather. Let me see. I was going to see if they had the cover artist written out in particular, but pretty sure this cover is Renzo Rodriguez who did the interior art. Okay, so it's a Long Box Comics. John's Long Box, popular YouTube channel. And Renzo really did exceptionally detailed work on this story, with a backup story by Ron Mythic. Okay, so that was nice art as well. Yeah, the initial story was colored by Daniel de la Silva Rodriguez, who had done some colors for me as well in Argo 5. And then the second story was colored by Oscar Carreno, who I've also worked with a little bit here now, getting some pinups and covers. So some really great creators involved here. Here's Oscar's pinup in the back, and an old school comic book ad. And it's, you know, on the top of my reading list. I have to get to this one, but it just looks very well executed. John had kind of developed the story in role playing, as he was a DM for a lot of role playing games. Kind of built this whole universe for himself, and now is finally bringing it to the comic page. I had known John for a long time, going back to the 80s, where we were going to the same comic book store, the Incredible Pulp, in Baldwin, Long Island. And as was Mike Descharnes, who worked there, who put out Marshall Strong through Thunder Zone. So kind of like a little grouping of incredible pulp alumni doing our own comics now, which is very cool to see. And again, there were tchotchkes that were included. Got the Improbable Girl and Wonder Kitty number 10. Okay, this had a guest artist doing the cover, which I really liked this cover. When a guest star, another creative character called Badger, which, apologies to Mike Barron, you know, he's, it's not going to be confused with Badger, who's a popular comic character already. And as long as I'm guessing that there's no book named Badger, but who knows, it hasn't been published regularly in a while, so Badger may not, Badger may be up for grabs at this point, who knows. But yeah, that's his Bard character called Badger, and this kind of crossover where we have a medieval Dungeons and Dragons type book mixed in with a modern military setting book. So it's, again, this is issue 10. So I've done 1 through 9 on the Indie Monster Hall. So you probably have an idea of, this is her in a cat form, and that's Improbable Girl and Wonder Kitty. So they work as news journalists, and as a side gig, they work as in the military, and I think they're special agents because of their superpowers. Okay, here's a good shot of them. Improbable Girl and Wonder Kitty. Okay, Improbable Girl has super strength, which she actually jokes in this issue about how people say she never uses it, but she uses it on in this one. And Wonder Kitty can turn into various kitty forms. Usually a house cat, which is kind of stealthy, because then people don't realize that something is going wrong. And then, a more fierce type cat, if needed, when villainy lurks. Okay. This is all by Joe Carrales III. It's got to be somewhere here. Joe Eli Carrales doing the whole bit. Camera's not really focusing. There it is. And in the back, he has what's called the New People's Journal, where he kind of has a letters column, interviews with other creators. So if you're looking for something to really sink your teeth into, you get a lot for your dollar with this book from UFO Comics. All right. Let's see. Now, just gotta put this back. All right. Grok Comics. This is a pile of books I had, so I'm not sure if I went over this one already, but I did actually read it recently. So, Grok, Ataman, number 0, Ataman being a public domain character, and we actually get his original story printed up in here. So there's bookend stories of his grandson taking over. I like this. Again, a nice, cool head-to-toe shot. Bill Raup is the creator on this, the writer, publisher. Trying to see where the artist is. Don't see it. So if you get your own copy, you'll be able to find it. It's Grok Comics, Ataman. I believe it's available on Indie Planet. So again, a lot of these public domain characters started out on the success of Superman. So some of them do have similar powers. His was supposed to be atomic. And, you know, I think most people who update these characters maybe tweak them a little bit and perhaps give them their own spin to take them even further away from Superman. And again, Grok Comics has been doing that with a few a few public domain characters rather. So I did enjoy it. Kickstarter from a little while back. We had Pinkwing Prime Controller. Okay, Rommel Hills characters. First 3 issues of 4 issues. I'm guessing is what I backed because I got 3 issues here. And Pinkwing Prime Controller are these 2 kids right here. Mythic Cobalt Comics. Okay, so you can look that up on social media. Usually I'll post the new videos out on Facebook and I will tag most of the publishers in that. So it makes it a little easier if you do pop over to my Facebook. Usually it's a public post, even if we're not on each other's friends list. And then you're able to just click on each publisher as long as they have a linkable page. You can click on each publisher and check out what they have going on. Yeah, so most of this issue, they're just in their civilian identities. This is pretty much an origin with a mysterious figure who's granting them their powers. So yeah, I like, you know, I saw the preview art and Rommel and some other groups. The book looked good. They actually had a cameo in Argo 5 number 41. So that's how much I liked the idea. So if you ordered that already, you could dig it up, or that's available. I'll put the link for Argo Comics, all of our books, in the description. And here's number 2. And this was cool because it introduced a group called the Alliance, which are these 3 characters here. And I really enjoyed the take on them because they continued into the 3rd issue as well. Okay, that's 2 and issue 3. So Rommel's doing all 3 of these books. So you do it all yourself, it's going to take a while. So that's why it was a little delayed. But yeah, you know, he followed through, came through, and here are the books. And I believe the 4th issue, according to these ads, might already be available. And they can all be ordered right on his website. So he has regular covers and variant covers. So mythiccobaltcomics.com or mythiccobalt.com. You see it right there. So yeah, they fight this squid creature. Very good take on everything. I think he did his own colors as well. I think he did the whole bit. Oh, except for lettering. DC Hopkins did the lettering. So we had also with this Kickstarter some prints. And I have over here, I'm not usually one for such things and everything, stickers, chibi stickers. So a lot of extras came with that. Again, I'm not sure if I had hit this one previously, but we had Cosmos number 8. Let's see. Credits. Tony Cottrell runs this Advent Comics. Okay, there's some credits over here. Let me see if I could find them fully. We have on the interior cover. Oh, okay, here we go. Bottom of page 1. Marcos Diaz Ramos Filo doing the, well, Tony's doing the words, and that's the artist. Okay, we have Brian McGean here. Must have done some of the colors because there's his name, and he's been doing some colors for me. Really great colorist. But this is another indie event type book with a lot of great indie characters. One of these issues, Argo 5, shows up as well, or that's actually on the way. So yeah, really spanning a lot of, here we go. We got some Nigel Flood characters right there from Celtic Clan. I believe all those characters are from. Well, I know at least, yeah, Citizen is, he's been a popular character for crossovers. So the exceptional art, colors, letters, everything. Cosmos number 8, Advent Comics. They're in previews and Kickstarters. Kickstarter Rebound number 1, Rising Star Comics. Just says Rising Star. I'm adding the comics. Maybe it's Rising Star Comics. Maybe it's Rising Star. It's like Thunder Zone. Thunder Zone's usually Thunder Zone. Sometimes to clarify, we say Thunder Zone Comics. Got a little print here. Okay. Tyson J. Rock. Written, art, Zilson Costa. Colors, Javi Lapara. So Zilson's the artist on Nature Man, who I've released 3 issues so far. We have the 4th concluding issue coming in a Thunder Zone Kickstarter. He's obviously an artist whose work I like, which is why I've worked with him. So he's doing this Rebound book. He's also been doing some work for, they call him Marvelous. So yeah, you know, he's solid art, dependable, dynamic. So he gets work. And Rebound, it's kind of like a acrobatic type character. And this is a very well done book. It's kind of a heavy paper stock for the covers there. I haven't read it yet to give you any insights on that. But from what I read on the Kickstarter, it was enough to inspire me to do the backing. So I'll say you can check that book out. YEET. Okay, that's the only book I get on Patreon, and every time they print one, they mail it to you. I might have gone over this last one, but let's see. It's number 62. Black Fury is the character on the front and back covers. Really love this cover. Nicely done. And it's an anthology, YEET, different creators. We mentioned Probable Girl and Wonder Kitty by Joe Carrales. That's usually in here. But occasionally they'll do color, mostly black and white. I'm trying to see another story, giving you a look at the different art styles. And I think we have a page here by Megaton Man, Sergeant Shock, by Don Simpson. You know, Megaton Man's a pretty well-known indie. So Don contributed here. Different Black Fury story in the back. Just always a lot of entertaining material in YEET. This Black Fury story has a few art styles. So it's kind of like a round robin story where we had different artists come in and illustrate different pages of the story. And then we had a somewhat more cartoony story in the middle. So yeah, you can just go to Patreon and look up YEET Comics, and you'll be able to find them and subscribe. Heroic Publishing, Tigress, number 13. Yeah. See, I saw this backup story here. Fantastic Girl. Okay, Francisco Gabino did work for me, so I was really interested in seeing that, as he's a great artist. There's a Tigress story as the main story. I don't know, it's white lettering, so I don't know if the camera's gonna. Oh, there we go. So Dick Gordiano doing pencils. You know, of course, he's a world-renowned color. Giuseppe Pico's done colors for myself as well. I believe Dick Gordiano passed away, but this was some of his final work being done by Heroic. Then we had this Fantastic Girl and Nightwind, Desmoni, Francisco Gabino, as I said, colors again, Giuseppe Pica. So, yeah, I mean, Francisco Gabino's work is just outstanding. So I was happy to see more of it in this issue. Heroic has done a lot of books, so well worth checking out. You can look them up on social media as well. We had Ninja High School 196 come out. Okay. Been done. Marching towards issue 200. He's that fill-in artist, but he's doing the creator and art on this. The script letters, Alfred Perez, Nick West colors. Again, 196, so I have them all. This and Gold Digger were the two primary titles. And my own stories ran in Exciting Comics for a while, so happy to be part of the whole Antarctic Press universe, or superverse as they call anything that I guess has the superheroes, where they have different universes for their jungle comics and maybe for their sci-fi comics and other titles. We had a backup story which is a bit more cartoony. But a very rich history with Ninja High School, and I always enjoy more work from Ben Dunn. G.I. Joe relaunched, so I picked up #1. Not being a child of the 80s, I'm not as invested in Duke and Baroness and all those characters. My G.I. Joe was part of an adventure team. He had a fuzzy beard. He was 5 times the size of the 80s G.I. Joes, and he had Kung Fu grip. So I think it's obvious who the superior Joe was. But I know everyone else likes these guys better. And there's some of the artwork. There's Destro, the villain. Duke, I believe, is the hero. So I haven't done a ton of reading with G.I. Joe, but I did pick up this new issue 1 just to see what's going on. And, give it a try. It's Image Comics, so I'm sure you'll have no problem finding it. Again, I had this, but I don't know if I went over it. I'll go over it again just in case. Juice Man #7. I think I already backed #8, or 8's on the way. Scott James is the creator of Juice Man, but there's the full credits. There's even social media there on the lower right. So everything you need to know to follow up on Juice Man, who was kind of like a muscle character. I don't think they actually think he's on the juice, aka steroids, but he does seem to skip leg day, which is the I used to joke sometimes the juice guys don't do legs as much, being that if you're not strong enough to do it without the juice, you're probably not motivated enough to do legs, which is a very tough body part to train. But of course, there's a lot of competitors who do legs. So I was actually like a little Chris Sprouse. I don't think that's what Juice Man's about. But anyway, it was a sidebar. There he is being interviewed on a talk show. And as you can see, the legs are a little. I do have a cover by Scott coming up. So I'll keep you posted when that occurs. But I did really enjoy this series. Scott also did some backup stories in Savage Dragon. So his art style is a little reminiscent of Eric Larson, which is a great thing in my book, because he's an artist whose work I've always enjoyed. So definitely worth checking out Juice Man, following those links. Here's the tchotchkes that were coming in with it. I keep saying tchotchkes, but you know what I'm talking about. The extras. Put that away. Let's see. Got some trades here. Money Shot. What is this image? Vault Comics. Can't see it. There you go. Vault Comics. Money Shot. Okay, kind of like some space adventurers who a little racy, but they did a series of one shots or trades actually, um, which have always been good. But again, if you're not down for any racing material, you're gonna probably want to skip it. But sci-fi, pretty nicely done. Give you a look at some interior art that can be shown. So just a cool team of space explorers. Uh, Dark Horse, Minor Threats. Okay, well, here's a group of creators on the bottom here. Well known, Patton Oswalt, well known in TV and movies. Been in some Marvel movies actually. So this is volume 2. I had volume 1. Enjoyed that, so jumped in for issue 2. And you know, it's super characters, but it's a pretty fresh take, which gets me interested. And yeah, I really liked it. Some unique characters. But you know how it is with the Marvel DC zombies. They'll say, oh, red, white, and blue. What is he, Captain America? No. So obviously not. But yeah, I think they've been coming up with some unique stuff, and I've enjoyed it. Now, here's a book. Where is this from? Monster Fun. Monster Fun. So it's a UK book. So I think it was published a while back, maybe in black and white. Now they colored it. The Leopard from Lime Street. And let me see credits here. See, John Lucas did the cover, which I had a Argo 5 cover by John Lucas. I'm a big fan of John Lucas. So I took a chance on the rest of it. Here are your credits. And again, I think it was a British book about a young guy who becomes a hero. And I'm guessing he has feral abilities. I don't know why, but it kind of takes me into like Miracle Man. Maybe it's a British approach or something, or maybe the creator was a fan of that, or the artist was a fan of Alan Davis. Something takes me in that direction when I look at this. Or maybe there's a certain style to British comics, like the 2000 AD books and Judge Dredd, Strontium Dog, all that stuff. And it is kind of like a different size. So if you're crazed about that, but yeah, I think it's the same width pretty much. So still should go in your long box, but it's going to just be a bit shorter. So some people are very. I know I'm not big on like little books that I see. This is big. This is large enough to still see the artwork. I just don't like it. If a book is solicited and you don't know it's digest size or something, and then it comes in as digest size. All right, so that's going to do it for this monster haul. Got through a lot of books there. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Please like the video. Let's hear some comments there. If you have any of these books, what you thought, and maybe what you're reading. Always good to hear from everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.